Here's a powerful asterisk, Gaur Gopal Das style speech hook intro, and 7 key points for asterisk train your mind to win every day. My dear friends, let me ask you something. Why do some people keep moving forward no matter how many times they fail? Why do some people stay positive even during difficult times? Why do some people achieve their goals while others spend years making excuses? Is it because they are more talented? Is it because they are luckier? Is it because life is easier for them? No. The biggest difference is not in their circumstances. The biggest difference is in their mindset. Because before you win in the world, you must first win in your mind. Every morning, when you wake up, there is a battle taking place inside your head. A battle between discipline and laziness. A battle between courage and fear. A battle between confidence and doubt. A battle between action and excuses. And the side that wins this battle determines the quality of your day. Most people think success is about defeating competitors. But real success begins when you defeat your own limitations. The voice that says, I can't. The voice that says, maybe tomorrow. The voice that says, what if I fail? The voice that says, I am not good enough. If you can overcome that voice, you can overcome almost anything. Your mind is like a muscle. If you train it daily, it becomes stronger. If you neglect it, it becomes weaker. Just as athletes train their bodies every day, successful people train their minds every day. Because they understand one powerful truth. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can control what happens within you. Today, I want to share 7 powerful lessons that will help you train your mind to win every single day. 1. Start every morning with purpose. A successful day begins with a focused morning. 2. Control your thoughts before they control you. Your thoughts shape your emotions, actions, and results. Point 3. Focus on progress, not perfection. Small improvements every day lead to extraordinary success. 4. Turn challenges into opportunities. Every problem contains a lesson and a chance to grow. 5. Develop discipline over motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline creates lasting success. 6. Stop comparing yourself to others. Compare yourself only to the person you were yesterday. 7. End every day with gratitude and reflection. A winning mind learns from every day and appreciates every blessing. My dear friends, winning does not happen once a year. Winning does not happen once a month. Winning happens every single day. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you win. Every time you choose courage over fear, you win. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you win. Remember this. Your future is not created by one big decision. It is created by hundreds of small decisions made every day. Train your mind to think better. Train your mind to stay strong. Train your mind to stay focused. And one day, you will look back and realize that the greatest victory was never over other people. The greatest victory was over the person you used to be. Thank you. Every successful day begins long before success becomes visible. It begins in the first moments after you wake up. It begins with the thoughts you choose, the attitude you carry, and the direction you give your mind. This is why one of the most important ways to train your mind to win every day is to start every morning with purpose. Most people wake up and immediately allow the world to take control of their attention. Before they even get out of bed, they begin checking notifications, reading messages, scrolling through social media, and reacting to the demands of others. Within minutes, their minds become crowded with informations, distractions, worries, and comparisons. They have not yet decided how they want to feel, what they want to accomplish, or what kind of person they want to be that day. Instead, they allow external influences to decide for them. Mentally strong people understand that the first few moments of the day are extremely valuable. They recognize that the morning is not just the beginning of another day. It is the beginning of another opportunity. It is a fresh chance to grow, improve, learn, and move one step closer to their goals. Because of this understanding, they approach the morning differently. Think about a ship leaving a harbor. If the captain sets the direction correctly at the beginning of the journey, the ship is more likely to arrive at the desired destination. But if the ship leaves without direction, it can easily drift off course. The same thing happens in life. When you start your day without purpose, distractions pull you in different directions. Your energy becomes scattered. Your focus becomes weak. Your productivity decreases. By the end of the day, you may feel busy, but you may not feel fulfilled. Purpose gives direction. Purpose gives clarity. Purpose gives meaning. Without purpose, people spend their days reacting. With purpose, people spend their days creating. One reason mornings are so important is because your mind is fresh when you wake up. The thoughts you focus on early in the day often influence your mindset for hours afterward. If the first thing you focus on is stress, your mind begins searching for more reasons to feel stressed. If the first thing you focus on is negativity, your mind becomes more sensitive to negative experiences throughout the day. On the other hand, if you begin the day with positive intention, gratitude, determination, and focus, your mind becomes better prepared to handle challenges. You are not pretending that difficulties do not exist. You are simply choosing the mental state from which you will face those difficulties. This is one of the greatest secrets of mentally strong people. They do not wait for the day to determine their attitude. They determine their attitude before the day begins. Another reason starting with purpose matters is because purpose creates momentum. Success is rarely the result of one giant action. More often, success is the result of many small actions performed consistently. A productive morning creates momentum that carries into the afternoon. A focused morning creates focus throughout the day. A disciplined morning creates discipline in later decisions. Imagine two people waking up on the same day. The first person wakes up late, rushes through the morning, reacts to distractions, and begins the day feeling overwhelmed. The second person wakes up with intention, focuses on meaningful goals, and begins the day with clarity. Both people have the same 24 hours. Both people face challenges. Both people encounter distractions. Yet their experiences become completely different because of how they started. The morning often determines the direction of everything that follows. Another powerful benefit of starting every morning with purpose is that it strengthens self-control. Every day presents countless opportunities for distraction. Modern life constantly competes for your attention. Notifications appear, messages arrive. Entertainment is available everywhere. If your mind lacks direction, it becomes easy to follow whatever captures your attention in the moment. Purpose acts like an anchor. It reminds you what matters. It reminds you where you are going. It helps you resist distractions because you have something more important to focus on. Mentally strong people understand that attention is one of the most valuable resources they possess. They protect it carefully. They do not allow random distractions to control their entire day. They train themselves to focus on meaningful priorities. Starting every morning with purpose also improves confidence. Many people believe confidence comes from achievements, recognition, or praise from others. While those things may contribute, true confidence often comes from keeping promises to yourself. When you wake up and intentionally begin your day according to your values, you send yourself a powerful message. You prove that your goals matter. You prove that your future matters. You prove that you can be trusted. Every time you follow through on your intentions, self-belief grows stronger. Confidence is not built in one moment. It is built through repeated acts of consistency. Morning purpose helps create that consistency. Another reason purpose is so powerful is because it helps people overcome difficult circumstances. Life is unpredictable. Some days bring stress. Some days bring disappointment. Some days bring unexpected challenges. During these moments, people without purpose often feel lost because their direction depends entirely on external conditions. Mentally strong people are different. Their purpose provides stability. Even when circumstances change, their values remain. Even when problems appear, their direction remains. Purpose becomes a source of strength during uncertainty. It reminds them why they keep going. It reminds them what they are working toward. It reminds them that temporary difficulties do not define their future. Another important lesson is that purpose helps people become intentional rather than reactive. Many individuals spend their lives reacting to whatever happens around them. They react to opinions. They react to circumstances. They react to emotions. As a result, they often feel as though life is controlling them. Mentally strong people choose a different path. They decide how they want to think. They decide how they want to act. They decide what deserves their attention. Instead of allowing life to push them in random directions, they move forward with intention. This creates a greater sense of control and fulfillment. Perhaps the greatest benefit of starting every morning with purpose is that it gradually transforms identity. Every day you begin with intention, you reinforce a powerful belief about yourself. You begin seeing yourself as disciplined, focused, committed, reliable. You stop identifying as someone who simply reacts to life. You begin identifying as someone who actively shapes life. That identity becomes stronger with every purposeful morning. and eventually it influences every area of your life. The reality is simple. You may not be able to control everything that happens today. You cannot control every challenge. You cannot control every person. You cannot control every circumstance. But you can control how you begin. You can control the mindset you choose. You can control the focus you bring. You can control the purpose you carry into the day. And when you consistently begin each morning with purpose, you train your mind to think differently. You train your mind to stay focused. You train your mind to stay disciplined. You train your mind to keep moving forward. That is how winning begins. Not with a huge breakthrough, not with a lucky opportunity, but with a simple decision made every morning. A decision to wake up with purpose, live with intention, and take one more step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. Because when you win the morning, you create the foundation to win the day. And when you win enough days, you eventually build a winning life. One of the most important lessons in training your mind to win every day is learning to control your thoughts before they control you. Most people spend their lives believing that their thoughts simply happen to them. They assume that whatever enters their mind must be accepted as truth. If they think they are not good enough, they believe it. If they think they will fail, they accept it. If they think something is impossible, they stop trying. Without realizing it, they allow random thoughts to determine their emotions, actions, and ultimately their future. Mentally strong people understand a powerful truth. They know that not every thought deserves to be believed. Just because a thought enters your mind does not mean it is accurate. Just because you feel something does not mean it is true. The human mind produces thousands of thoughts every day. Some of those thoughts are helpful. Some are harmful. Some are encouraging. Some are destructive. The challenge is learning to recognize the difference. Think about standing at the entrance of your house. Would you allow every stranger who walks by to enter and live there? Of course not. You would be selective. You would decide who is allowed inside. Yet, many people do the opposite. With their minds, they allow every negative thought to enter without question. They allow doubt to move in. They allow fear to take control. They allow insecurity to occupy space in their thinking. Over time, these thoughts become stronger because they are never challenged. Mentally strong people become gatekeepers of their minds. They pay attention to what they allow themselves to think repeatedly because they understand that thoughts eventually become beliefs and beliefs eventually become actions. One reason controlling thoughts is so important is because thoughts shape reality more than most people realize. Two individuals can face the exact same situation and have completely different experiences because of the way they think about it. Imagine two people losing a job. The first person immediately thinks, "My life is over. I will never recover from this. Nothing ever works out for me." The second person thinks, "This is difficult, but perhaps there is something I can learn from it. Maybe this challenge will lead me toward a better opportunity." Both people face the same circumstance. Yet one becomes trapped in hopelessness, while the other remains open to growth. The situation is identical. The mindset is different. And that mindset often determines the outcome. Another reason thought control matters is because negative thinking naturally attracts more negative thinking. The mind tends to focus on whatever it practices most often. If a person spends every day focusing on problems, the mind becomes skilled at finding more problems. If a person constantly focuses on failure, the mind becomes skilled at predicting failure. If a person continually focuses on limitations, the mind becomes skilled at creating excuses. The brain works like a search engine. Whatever question you ask repeatedly, it will search for answers. If you ask, "Why am I so unlucky?" the mind will provide evidence. If you ask, "Why does nothing ever work for me?" the mind will search for proof. But if you ask, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I improve?" the mind begins looking for solutions instead. Mentally strong people understand this principle and use it wisely. Another important lesson is that fear often begins as a thought before it becomes an emotion. Many of the fears that hold people back never actually happen. People imagine worst-case scenarios. They predict failure before taking action. They convince themselves that rejection is inevitable. They create disasters in their minds long before reality provides any evidence. As a result, they suffer twice. First in their imagination, then in reality, if the challenge actually appears. Mentally strong people recognize this pattern. They understand that fear grows when it is fed by repeated negative thinking. Instead of automatically believing fearful thoughts, they question them. They ask whether those thoughts are based on facts or assumptions. They ask whether the situation is truly as dangerous as their mind suggests. This habit prevents fear from gaining unnecessary power. Another reason controlling thoughts is important is because your self-image is built through repeated thinking. Every day, people hold conversations with themselves inside their minds. Some conversations are encouraging, some are destructive. The problem is that many people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to someone they care about. They call themselves failures. They focus only on mistakes. They ignore achievements. They criticize themselves constantly. Over time, this internal dialogue shapes identity. If a person repeatedly tells themselves they are weak, they begin acting weak. If a person repeatedly tells themselves they are incapable, they begin avoiding challenges. If a person repeatedly tells themselves they cannot succeed, they stop trying. Mentally strong people understand the importance of healthy self-talk. They are honest about weaknesses, but they do not define themselves by those weaknesses. They acknowledge mistakes, but they do not allow mistakes to become their identity. They encourage themselves to continue growing instead of constantly tearing themselves down. Another powerful benefit of controlling thoughts is improved emotional stability. Emotions are often influenced by interpretation. Two people can experience the same event and feel completely different emotions because they assign different meanings to it. One person sees a challenge as a threat. Another sees it as an opportunity. One person sees failure as proof of inadequacy. Another sees failure as feedback. One person sees criticism as an attack. Another sees criticism as information. The difference lies in thinking. Mentally strong people understand that while they cannot always control events, they can influence the meaning they assign to those events. This ability gives them greater emotional control. Another important truth is that controlling thoughts requires practice. Many people expect instant transformation. They want complete mental control overnight. But the mind develops through repetition, just as physical muscles become stronger through repeated exercise. Mental discipline becomes stronger through repeated awareness. Every time you challenge a negative thought, you strengthen your mind. Every time you replace an excuse with responsibility, you strengthen your mind. Every time you choose courage over fear, you strengthen your mind. These small victories accumulate over time. Eventually, thinking differently becomes natural. Another reason mentally strong people control their thoughts is because thoughts influence action. Action rarely occurs without belief. People act according to what they think is possible. If someone believes they cannot succeed, they often stop trying. If someone believes they can improve, they continue working. The difference in action begins with the difference in thought. This is why successful people guard their minds carefully. They understand that every achievement begins as a belief, and every belief begins as a thought. Perhaps the most powerful lesson of all is that your mind can either become your greatest ally or your greatest obstacle. The same mind that creates excuses can create determination. The same mind that creates fear can create courage. The same mind that creates doubt can create confidence. The difference depends on training. Winning every day does not begin with controlling other people. It does not begin with controlling circumstances. It does not begin with controlling the world around you. It begins with controlling the world within you. The reality is simple. You cannot stop every negative thought from appearing. You cannot prevent every moment of doubt. You cannot eliminate every fear. But you can decide which thoughts deserve your attention. You can decide what thoughts deserve your belief. You can decide which thoughts deserve power over your actions. And every time you choose empowering thoughts over limiting ones, every time you choose solutions over excuses, and every time you choose courage over fear, you train your mind to become stronger. Because the battle for success is won long before anyone sees the results. It is won inside the mind. And when you learn to control your thoughts before they control you, you develop one of the greatest advantages any person can possess. A mind trained to win every single day. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their full potential is because they become obsessed with perfection instead of progress. They believe they must have the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity, and the perfect conditions before they can begin. As a result, they spend so much time preparing to start that they never actually start. Meanwhile, mentally strong people understand a simple but powerful truth. Progress is always more important than perfection. Perfection is an illusion. No matter how hard you try, there will always be something that could be improved. There will always be another mistake to fix. There will always be another skill to learn. There will always be another level to reach. If you wait until everything is perfect, you may spend your entire life waiting. Progress, on the other hand, is real. Progress is measurable. Progress moves you forward. Even small progress creates momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. Think about a person who wants to get physically fit. Many people make the mistake of creating unrealistic expectations. They decide they will exercise perfectly every day. They will never miss a workout. They will completely change their diet overnight. They will transform their lives immediately. For a few days, they may feel excited, but eventually, they miss a workout. They eat something unhealthy. They make a mistake because they were chasing perfection. They become discouraged. They feel like they have failed. And many people quit altogether. Mentally strong people take a different approach. They focus on improving little by little. They understand that one missed workout does not erase progress. One mistake does not destroy growth. One setback does not define the journey. They keep moving forward because they know that consistency matters more than perfection. Another reason progress is more powerful than perfection is because perfection creates fear. Many people avoid taking action because they are afraid of making mistakes. They fear criticism. They fear failure. They fear looking inexperienced. They fear not being good enough. As a result, they remain stuck. They continue planning. They continue thinking. They continue waiting. But growth never happens inside the comfort zone of endless preparation. Growth happens through action. And action always involves mistakes. Think about a child learning to walk. Imagine if that child demanded perfection. After falling once, the child might decide walking is impossible. After stumbling twice, the child might quit. Thankfully, children do not think that way. They fall, they get up, they fall again, they keep trying. Eventually, they learn. This simple process contains a powerful lesson for all of us. Success is often the result of repeated imperfect attempts, not perfect execution. Another important truth is that progress builds confidence. Many people believe confidence comes before action. They think they must feel confident before they begin. But confidence usually develops after action. Every small step forward provides evidence that growth is possible. Every challenge overcome increases self-belief. Every improvement strengthens confidence. Mentally strong people understand this. They do not wait until they feel completely ready. They begin with what they have. They start where they are. They trust that progress will create confidence along the way. Another reason focusing on progress is important is because it keeps people motivated. Perfection is exhausting. No matter how much a perfectionist achieves, it never feels enough. There is always another flaw, another weakness, another reason to be dissatisfied. This mindset creates frustration and burnout. Progress creates a different experience. When people focus on improvement, They begin noticing positive changes. They recognize growth. They celebrate small victories. They appreciate how far they have come. This creates encouragement, and encouragement fuels continued effort. Mentally strong people understand that long-term success requires motivation that can be sustained. Progress provides that motivation. Perfection often destroys it. Another powerful benefit of focusing on progress is that it develops resilience. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned. Unexpected challenges appear. Mistakes happen. Goals take longer than expected. People face setbacks. Those who expect perfection often struggle during these moments because any deviation from the plan feels like failure. Mentally strong people view setbacks differently. They see them as part of the process. They understand that growth is rarely a straight line. Some days will be better than others. Some weeks will be more productive than others. The important thing is continuing to move forward. This perspective creates resilience because temporary setbacks no longer feel permanent. They become opportunities to learn and adjust. Another reason progress matters more than perfection is because mastery takes time. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person started without experience. Every skilled performer once struggled with basic tasks. The difference is that they were willing to be imperfect while learning. Imagine a musician learning an instrument. The first notes are rarely beautiful. The first songs are rarely flawless. The learning process involves mistakes, corrections, and practice. If perfection were required at the beginning, no one would ever become skilled. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether you are building a business, improving your health, developing relationships, or learning a new skill, growth requires patience. Progress allows room for learning. Perfection demands impossible standards. Another important lesson is that progress compounds over time. Small improvements may seem insignificant in the moment. A single workout may not transform a body. A single page may not complete a book. A single day of studying may not guarantee success. But small actions repeated consistently create remarkable results. This is where many people become discouraged. They expect immediate transformation. When results do not appear quickly, they lose motivation. Mentally strong people understand the power of compounding. They trust the process. They focus on daily improvement. They know that today's small effort contributes to tomorrow's larger success. Over time, those efforts accumulate into extraordinary outcomes. Another reason progress is so powerful is because it keeps people focused on what they can control. Perfection often focuses attention on outcomes. People become obsessed with achieving flawless results. They worry constantly about success and failure. They stress over things outside their control. Progress shifts attention toward effort, toward learning, toward growth, toward daily improvement. These are areas people can influence directly. This mindset reduces anxiety and increases productivity because energy is directed toward action rather than unrealistic expectations. Perhaps the greatest benefit of focusing on progress instead of perfection is that it creates freedom. Freedom to learn, freedom to experiment, freedom to fail, freedom to improve, freedom to grow. Perfection creates pressure. Progress creates possibility. Perfection says, you must never make mistakes. Progress says, mistakes are part of learning. Perfection says, you are not ready. Progress says, start now and improve along the way. Perfection says, everything must be flawless. Progress says, keep moving forward. The reality is simple. No one becomes successful by being perfect. People become successful by being persistent. They become successful by showing up consistently. They become successful by improving gradually. They become successful by refusing to quit. Mental strength is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about continuing even when things are imperfect. It is about learning from mistakes instead of being defeated by them. It is about valuing growth more than flawless performance. When you focus on progress, every day becomes an opportunity to improve. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes feedback. Every effort becomes meaningful. And over time, those small improvements create a powerful transformation, because success is rarely built through perfect moments. Success is built through consistent progress. Day after day, step after step, choice after choice. That is how a winning mindset is developed. Not by demanding perfection from yourself, but by committing to progress and refusing to stop moving forward. One of the most powerful habits of people who consistently succeed in life is their ability to turn challenges into opportunities. While most people see difficulties as barriers that stop them from moving forward, mentally strong people see those same difficulties as chances to grow, learn, and become stronger. This mindset does not mean they enjoy problems or wish for hardships. It simply means they understand that every challenge contains a lesson, and every obstacle contains an opportunity that can help them become a better version of themselves. Life is filled with challenges. No matter who you are, where you come from, or how successful you become, difficulties will always be part of the journey. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be disappointments. There will be moments when things do not go according to plan. The question is not whether challenges will come. The question is how you will respond when they arrive. Most people immediately focus on what they have lost. They focus on the inconvenience. They focus on the pain. They focus on the unfairness of the situation. As a result, they become trapped in frustration and negativity. Mentally strong people choose a different response. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can this teach me?" That single question changes everything. Because the moment you begin searching for lessons, your mind shifts from helplessness to growth. Think about a seed buried beneath the ground. From the outside, it appears trapped. It is surrounded by darkness. It faces pressure from the soil above it. Yet that pressure does not destroy the seed. Instead, it helps the seed grow. The very thing that seems like an obstacle becomes part of the process that allows it to develop into a strong tree. Challenges work in a similar way. The difficulties you face today may be creating strengths you will need tomorrow. The pressure you experience may be preparing you for greater responsibilities in the future. The struggle may be developing qualities that comfort could never teach. Another reason mentally strong people turn challenges into opportunities is because challenges reveal strengths that would otherwise remain hidden. Many people do not know how capable they are until life tests them. They do not know how resilient they are. They do not know how patient they are. They do not know how determined they are. Then a difficult situation arrives. Suddenly they are forced to adapt. They are forced to grow. They are forced to find strength they never knew they possessed. Without the challenge, those strengths might have remained undiscovered forever. Sometimes the obstacle is not there to stop you. Sometimes it is there to reveal who you can become. Another important truth is that every challenge teaches something valuable. Failure teaches lessons that success often cannot. Success feels good. But failure forces people to examine their choices. Failure reveals weaknesses. Failure provides feedback. Mentally strong people understand this. They do not allow setbacks to become permanent defeats. Instead, they study them. They learn from them. They use them as stepping stones toward future success. Imagine a person who starts a business and experiences failure. Many people would see that experience as proof they are not capable. Mentally strong people see it differently. They ask what went wrong. They identify mistakes. They improve their skills. They gather experience. Eventually, the lessons learned from failure become valuable assets. The setback becomes preparation. The challenge becomes an opportunity. Another reason challenges create opportunities is because they develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward despite difficulties. It is the ability to recover from setbacks and continue pursuing goals. This quality cannot be developed during easy times. It develops during struggle.